Greetings. This is Justin Allen with the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. Sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take the measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Maggie, who is a family nurse practitioner. Currently, she's working part-time at a primary care office. She's wanting to start an IV infusion and aesthetics clinic. She has a business set up, but is waiting to open the door as she is not ready to begin seeing patients. She's needing assistance with how to market her practice, what additional services she should provide, and how to hire RNs to do the IV infusion so she can focus on other services. Hey, Maggie, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for hopping on here. So tell us a little about yourself. How long have you been a nurse practitioner for, and what sorts of things you've been doing?
So I've been a nurse practitioner for 4 years. I started in the urgent care right before COVID started. I've been in the family practice setting for about a year. I'm currently doing the part-time so that I can focus my other time on opening my business.
Okay. So you've been a nurse practitioner for how long? Sorry?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. So what made you want to take the move to start your own business?
So I need the flexibility. My family is all back east. I'm out on the West Coast, so I want to have my own schedule. I want to have the flexibility and the funds to be able to go stay with my family for weeks at a time and just have that, be able to travel and be able to do kind of my own thing, just have my own schedule.
Gotcha. Okay. We're out on the East Coast.
I'm actually in Tahoe.
You're in Tahoe right now, but we're out on the East Coast. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Georgia.
Georgia. Okay, gotcha. I thought I heard a little southern swing there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, having that kind of flexibility is only possible really, being self-employed. It's pretty hard to do that, being tied down to a job, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. So you want to do a kind of like a wellness practice, aesthetics, IV infusion, maybe a hormone replacement therapy, loss, maybe.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So you have space.
Yes, I have a place and I'm actually on a state line in Tahoe, like I said. And so I have California on one side, Nevada on the other. I'm situated in Nevada for
Perfect.
obvious reasons.
Right. So you're independent, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was only going to do IV hydration, but I want to do aesthetics as well. So I'm doing both. My family practice patients, I'm having a lot of people asking about hormone replacement and weight loss. And I'm taking your hormone replacement class now, but that's definitely my next move is to incorporate that. I started doing Botox. I'm starting with that first before I start doing filler and everything else. Doing a little skincare. And then I'm in the process of setting up all my pharmacies to order all of my IV supplies.
Gotcha. Okay. So you got the space, you're getting it set up, like you have your LLC, like you have all that basic stuff, you have all your accounts set up. So like the shell of the business is done basically.
Right.
Yeah. How long did it take you to do that?
Oh gosh, I've slowly been working on it since July.
Gotcha. Okay. So a few months. Um, okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's really not that difficult, is
I just don't know what I'm doing. I had no guidance. I just
it?
didn't know what I was doing. So I feel like it's really difficult. I feel like now that I've done it, if I were to do it again in a few years, I think it'd be a lot easier.
A lot easier. Yeah. Yeah. The first time you do it, it can be a little difficult. That's why, I try to break it down as easy as possible in the courses. Um, but yeah, well, congratulations for getting the shell done.
Thank you.
That's kind of the hardest part is just getting it set up, right? And then once that's
Oh,
done, it's done. You only have to do it once.
that's true. That makes me
Yeah.
feel a little better.
Yeah, that's one thing about starting a business people don't realize. It's like it's a real pain in the ass getting the business set up, but like once it's done, it's done.
Right.
It's just cashing in after that. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I'm assuming you want to stay put there and talk. You don't plan on moving back to the East Coast?
No,
No, okay.
I want to stay here.
Yeah, yeah, I don't blame you. I grew up on the East Coast and moved out west too. It's just life's easier out here.
It
Uh,
is.
it's so much easier. It's so much easier. Like, as soon as you hit about, as soon as you get past Texas and, Oklahoma and Kansas and just go west from there, like, Colorado, New Mexico, west from there, like, it's just so much easier. It's just more laid back.
Yes.
It's just easier. You make more money.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I grew up in Tennessee. So, just one state above you. And it
Oh, yeah,
was,
you're my neighbor.
yeah. And it was just harder, like
Yeah, I made no money.
made no money, and like cost of living was, it going up and all the regulations and all the crazy laws and restrictions and, there's no such thing as cannabis, medical cannabis, none of that stuff.
No way. Yeah.
No way, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's the Wild West. It's so much better. So
Yeah.
anyone listening, if you want to make a move, move west.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, anyways, all right. So you want to do IV infusion and aesthetics, and you're thinking about doing weight loss and hormone replacement therapy. So let's start with IV infusion first. I'm not going to necessarily talk you out of it, but I'm just going to kind of break down the realities of it. Okay.
Okay.
So IV infusion is a good service. Don't get me wrong. Okay. It is profitable. Okay. You can make a lot of money with IV infusion. You truly can, but it's difficult. Okay.
Okay.
There are a lot easier ways to make money. Okay.
Okay.
These IV infusion clinics, if you see stuff on your Facebook feed, start an IV infusion clinic and make $1 million a year. That's bullshit.
Mhm.
No, 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 not unless you have multiple locations, multiple staff members and stuff doing stuff for you. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's really difficult to make a lot of money doing IV infusion. And the reason being is because the time investment involved with it.
Okay.
You got to start the IV. You got to hang the bag. You got to mix the bag. You got to, you got to sit there and let the bag infuse. You have to be USP compliant. You have to keep track of all your inventory. You have to order new inventory. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, it just is. Like I said, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm not trying to talk anybody out of it. It's just it's a pain. There's easier ways to make money. So with that in mind, my advice for you is do it. Okay. If you want to have it be a service line, but just have it be a service line. Don't have it be the focus of your business.
Okay.
Okay. Just have it there. Pick 3 or 4 infusions and call it a day. Okay. You don't need to do all of them. Did you take our IV course?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, you don't need to do all those infusions. You don't need to do the dozen that we talk about, like 3 or 4 and call it a day. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, keep it simple. Most people feel better off the fluids, you know?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of it's a placebo.
Yeah.
They get the fluids, they feel better. It doesn't really matter what you put in there.
Right, for
So
sure. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So just keep it as simple as possible. I would keep it to 3 ingredients. Be USB compliant. Don't bother with a hood.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I didn't
Okay.
want to deal with that.
Yeah, you don't need a hood and a clean room. Get out of here. Like, why would you want to set all that up? Like, clean ventilation system and a clean room and a hood. Like, what? Like,
Yeah, that's a lot more money I was planning on investing too. So, no, no.
Don't. Yeah, do not go down that route. It is totally unnecessary. Like, stick to 3 ingredients, pop them in the bag. Anything else you do is an IV push. Okay.
Okay.
Keep it simple. All right. So yeah, but just have it as an accessory service. Okay. So your main focus should be some of those other services instead: hormone replacement therapy, weight loss, or aesthetics. That should be your main
Okay.
focus. IV is just an accessory thing.
Okay.
Okay. Um, what kind of competition are you looking like out there? Like, is there a lot of people doing this stuff in the area or
No, there's one other clinic, but they're in on the other side. They're in California, which I won't be going to. So unless I did mobile, which is a whole nother ball game. But
no?
there is another one. They're doing mobile. So I do have one other company doing competition, but
Well,
other than that, it's just me.
they're on the other side of the lake.
Yeah. Well, so since we're on the state line, they're technically like 15, 20 minutes from me, but
Uh-huh.
they're in California.
Right. Well, you're gonna stick to Nevada, so
Right.
don't you dare cross over
So
to California. No,
no, no, no. Okay,
no.
that's what I was gonna actually ask you is
Uh-uh.
that should I do both or should I just keep it in
Hell no.
Nevada? Okay.
Hell no. Do not. California is the most difficult state in the country to conduct business in. They
Okay.
make it such a headache, you know,
Okay.
and not for medical it's just any business in general. I don't understand why people live there. It's so hard. Um,
Right.
yeah, you'd have first you have to form a nursing corporation. Okay. Then you'd have to get a license in California. Then you'd have to get a collaborator. You have to deal with all the California taxes. You have to deal with all that. Uh, don't.
Okay. Good
Okay.
advice.
Yeah, just don't. Just stick to Nevada. Keep it easy. If people from California want to come drive over to see you, so be it. You're gonna charge cheaper prices than the other people anyways.
Right. Okay. And
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, all the casinos are on my side,
Right. All people are over
on
there
the Nevada
anyways.
side.
It's cheaper.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So you should do okay. So if you have no competition on that side, you should be in a pretty good position here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nobody else doing IVs over up at the lake on my side, on the Nevada side. So
Perfect. And what about hormone and weight loss and stuff?
no, I think the only people doing weight loss really are down in like Carson area, like in the valley, which is a drive, especially in the wintertime. Like it's
Yeah.
just a haul to get down there. So no,
Right.
not really.
You're sitting on a gold mine here. Um,
That excites me.
yeah, you really are. There's no one doing this stuff where you're at. You're sitting on a gold mine. Um, yeah. So this is my advice for you is I would stick with hormone replacement therapy, weight loss, and aesthetics, especially, aesthetics. I'm assuming you enjoy doing it.
I do. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. You've had some training doing it. You feel pretty comfortable doing it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. With the Botox. I'm going back for filler just to get a little bit more comfortable with that. But right now I'm just sticking with Botox and like facials, that type thing.
Okay. Perfect. Well, then just keep doing that. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, if you know how to do it, then do it. Why not? I mean, it's a good money maker, especially probably somewhere like that, or, somewhere like Tahoe. Um,
Right.
yeah. So, a lot of people there have a lot of disposable income, right?
Right. For sure.
Yeah. So now aesthetics is one of those things that it's time for dollars. Okay. You have to spend time to make money. Like you have to see the patient, you have to do the procedure, you have to do all that, right? So you have to
Yeah.
you have to put your time into it. Okay.
Right.
Same thing with IV infusion. Weight loss and hormone replacement therapy, on the other hand, you don't have to put a whole lot of time into it. You see the patient
Okay.
once in person, you start them on treatment, you do the lab work or whatever, and you prescribe them the hormone, you prescribe them the weight loss medication, and you only follow up with them every 2 to 3 months. Once they're established and once they're dialed in, especially from a hormone standpoint, every 6 months. So they're paying you on a monthly basis for the refills and for the visits and the supplies and everything. Okay, if you set up a subscription model, and you're only seeing these people every 6 months for 15 minutes, 20 minutes,
Right.
right?
Okay.
Right. So it's a lot of hands-off money. Does that make sense?
Right. It does.
Yeah. So, that's why I would like for you to kind of focus on that if you can.
Yeah.
It's easier money. It's easy to grow it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, should I hire RNs like as 1099 to do all of my IVs on the side so that I
Um,
can focus more on doing the consults?
I would.
Okay.
That way it turns into more of a passive income stream for you versus the headache that it is,
Okay.
you know?
Well, the board of nursing said basically I have to be there to open, like physically open the cabinets and hand the medicine to the RN, which there has to be another way because there wouldn't be
You have to
IV
do that.
clinics.
What? You have to do that in the hospital?
No, no, you don't have to do that in a hospital. So there
Well,
has to be
then
another
why
way.
then why do you have to do it in the office? Like,
I don't
what?
know, but I was like, am I just being a massive rule follower that because I was like, there has to be a way for me to not be physically there and allow the RNs to do it with like verbal orders or like protocol orders.
Yeah. I mean, do RNs in an urgent care have to have the medication given to them by the provider for doing a Toradol shot or something?
No, I've never heard of this.
Right? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So
I would ask, I would want to see that regulation. If it's not written down, it doesn't exist. That person just made it
okay.
up.
Yeah, that was somebody that I just talked to on the phone from the border
Okay.
nursing.
No, no,
So
no, 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 no,
ask
no.
for the law.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, never ever take what someone tells you over the phone from the board of nursing or the board of pharmacy or whatever as the law.
Okay.
Okay. You need to see that shit written down. Like, I want to see it. If that's the case,
Okay.
where's that regulation? I want you to give me the exact law so I can look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing, yeah, I remember that person that okay, so you called the board of nursing, did they transfer you to anyone or you just talked to whoever answered?
No, I got transferred to somebody who she's a nurse that works there. I don't really know what her credentials are besides being a nurse that works there.
Yeah, yeah. She might be confused on what you were doing too, A lot of times they
Okay,
don't,
that's true too.
yeah, a lot of times they don't understand what it is that you're actually doing, you know?
Okay.
Like, were you giving like yeah, if you're giving chemo or something, like maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. She
Okay.
might just be confused on what it is that you're doing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So I would call again and ask for that specific regulation
Okay.
because I've never heard that. I've never heard that at all
Okay.
in any state. I mean, I've never heard of such a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Perfect.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Always ask for the regulation, always ask for the law. It was my understanding Nevada's a pretty easy state to practice in. Um,
Yeah, that was my understanding too. That's why I was doing it. So,
yeah, like I've heard, it's kind of one of those Wild West states. Like there's not really a whole lot of regulation and stuff. You just kind of do stuff.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So you should be able to do that.
Okay. I mean, I
Okay.
know Reno nurses do it. They do mobile IV clinics. I know that the NP's not going with them to hold their hand to every house they
Uh,
go to.
and all the ones in Vegas, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Those IV infusion vans that are driving around for everyone that's hungover. Like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
There ain't no nurse practitioner, doctor handing the RN the meds in the back. Let's get out of here. You know,
Yeah.
like, no,
No way.
no. Yeah, like I said, I would be seeing what she was talking about. So, anyways,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll ask for that for sure.
Um, yeah, for sure. Okay. So yeah, so you should hire an RN to do that for you.
Okay.
It's the easiest way to do it. Um, and then it turns into a passive income stream for you, right? You just have a bunch of standing orders and, patients get their IVs or
Right.
whatever. And even if you're there, if it's established patients or whatever, yeah, the RNs here during this time period of the week, yeah, we'll schedule you for an IV infusion, 2 days from now for weight loss drip or an energy drip or whatever, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I was just trying to think of how I can still make money on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday when I'm not there, when I'm working my family practice job. That would be perfect for them to go in, make some money, do some IVs themselves. And how do you incentivize the nurses? Because I mean, I wouldn't want to do hourly in case nobody comes in, and then I'm paying for RN to be there. That's kind of expensive.
Yeah, never pay. No, never pay these people hourly. It should always be a production based model.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
it reduces your risk as a business owner. For that exact
Right.
reason, you're not sitting there paying someone to twiddle their thumbs all day, sitting there doing nothing.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, you pay them
Is
production.
okay.
Yeah, that way it motivates them to get some patients in the door too.
Right, for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you pay the RN 40, $50 an infusion, after the expenses and everything said and done, you're making 50, $60 an infusion too for doing nothing, except for signing off
Right.
on some
Okay.
orders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so
Perfect.
yeah, so keep that in mind. That's the way I would do it.
Okay. Do you recommend getting like a lawyer to look over all of your stuff, all like your consents, or I mean, I
Uh,
I got all of my consents off your for my IVs off your class, but then for everything else, do you have lawyers look at that, or you just
no, the ones in our courses are pretty solid. Okay.
okay?
Every single NP that's ever messaged me, said, "Hey, I paid my lawyer to review your consents," and they said they were rock solid. What a waste of money.
Okay. Okay. That makes
Okay,
me feel better too.
yeah, don't waste your money.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms of having them review like other stuff, I mean, there's not really a whole lot for them to review. I mean, everything that gets included in the course, the privacy policies, the intake forms, all that stuff. You don't have to have a higher lawyer to review that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly the
Perfect.
consent form that you want to make sure is rock solid, and the ones that we have in the courses are pretty rock solid.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it's the ones I use.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. For marketing. So I'm not really ready to start throwing out hundreds of dollars a month for marketing. So right now I'm just kind of doing like I'm going to put my signs out and word of mouth. And is there anything else I can really do until I grow big enough to start putting money into like Instagram and everything else?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would hold off on spending a lot of money on marketing first off.
Yeah.
Um, Make sure you get all the free stuff done first.
Okay.
Okay, like your Google business listing. Your website should be nice. I mean, that's going to cost you a little bit of money. The website will. But make sure your website's really nice. Make sure it explains what it is that you're doing in a clear, concise manner that a fifth grader can read and understand.
Okay.
Okay. Your Google business listing should be up to date, lots of pictures, try to get as many reviews on there as you possibly can, hours up to date, links to the website. I mean, you can set that up yourself.
Okay.
It's really easy to do. How old are you?
I am 33.
33 years old. So, I mean, you grew up on a computer and a phone and stuff. So you should be able
Yeah,
to do
for
that.
sure.
Yeah. So you should be able to do that. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the free stuff, right? And then the location that you're at, are you on a main road or are you tucked away somewhere? Or what's that looking
I'm
like?
on the main road. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm on the
Can
main
you
road.
can you have a sign up there?
Yes, I can. That's a whole nother issue. But yes, I'm just going to put a sign up. Technically, we're supposed to get everything approved by the TRPA. And you have to put in an application and have that approved. And I'm kind of off their radar. So I'm just going to put a sign out. I
What's
mean,
yeah, that's what I would do. What's TRPA? What's that? Like a
it's like an organization that everything has to go through them to ensure the quality of the lake. So my little sign
yeah,
up on my
yeah.
business is gonna
Uh-huh.
mess up.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah, that'll be fine. I
I
wouldn't worry about it.
I'm not going to. I talked to them, and my building, my actual office is like they didn't even know where it was, and it's across the street from them. So I think I'm off their radar, so I'm just putting up my sign. But yes, I'm gonna have a big sign to go out front, and I'm actually on the end unit, so people coming up the road can see on the end unit. So I'm gonna have two signs, one on each side.
Okay, perfect. So invest the money in that. Okay, make sure it's visible, make sure it's clear as day what it is. And you'll get patients that just walk in the door.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think you need to spend a whole lot of money advertising on Instagram and stuff. Instagram should be more of an organic thing. You're posting a lot of the before and afters of the aesthetics patients and weight loss patients and stuff.
Right. Okay.
That's something that people just start following you and they share it and whatnot. Like, you don't really have to advertise a whole lot on there.
Hmm.
Um, I think that if you want to spend some money on advertising right now, maybe you should look into some local areas first and see where you can maybe advertise, there locally because you're wanting patients locally, right?
Yeah.
Right. So where can you go to advertise locally so people know that you exist? You might find that to be more of a bigger bang for your buck.
Okay. I mean, I definitely want tourists in there, and the ski season's coming up, so I wanted to advertise like more towards the casinos and get people in from there, like bachelorette parties for IVs, that kind of thing.
All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all elite nurse practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and the other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode. So you might want to approach the management of the casinos and ask if there's any kind of opportunities to advertise.
Okay, I could do that.
Okay.
Do you
You-
give like discount incentives at all?
For what?
Like for the IVs, like bring in 6 people, you get
Sure, why not?
percent off. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Um, people will be there at the casino getting drunk, etc. They're gonna wake up hungover, feel like shit. So they might be looking like they might be looking for IV infusion, like
Right.
God, I'm so hungover. I feel so bad. Where's an IV infusion clinic? And they'll hop on their phone and say IV infusion clinic near me. That's where it might be beneficial to have a Google search ad.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because people are going to be actively looking for that.
Okay. Google search
Right.
ads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you can have an ad at the airport or possibly a billboard somewhere that's very, that might be seen by a lot of tourists, might be something that
That's actually a
could
good
be.
idea.
Yeah, that could be something that might be profitable, might pay off. If it's in a high visibility, high traffic area, those billboards tend to be pretty expensive.
Okay.
So you're gonna
Just
have
kind of be
to,
ready.
yeah, just see how much they're charging and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can look into that.
I wanted to get a billboard right like in the middle of town, on the interstate. And this lady was telling me it was like 20,000. Like, are you out of your mind?
Oh my God.
There's no way I'd get a return on investment on that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So just call around and see, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month. That might be worth it.
Okay. Okay. I can look into this too.
And remember too, you're going to be seeing patients. Uh, you want locals. Tourists are great one time and done kind of things, right?
Yeah.
You're probably not going to see that person ever again,
Okay.
right? You
That's
really
true.
need to be focusing on recurrent income here, not treat and street stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good point too.
Yeah, it's really hard to grow a business that's just one time treat and street.
Right.
How
Okay.
do you grow that? It's you're always trying to acquire new people. So spending money to acquire new customers is always a lot more expensive than it is keeping current customers.
Okay.
So keeping current customers happy is basically free,
Right.
and then they're customers for life.
Right.
How
Okay.
much does it cost to acquire one new patient for an IV? You have customer acquisition costs for advertising and marketing. Customer acquisition costs for niche practices like this can average anywhere between $25 to $250 or more.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So if it costs you $50 in advertising on Google, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, if it costs you $50 to get one person in the door for an IV infusion that you're charging $150 for, and you pay the RN $50, and then it costs you $50 in supplies, you make absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that's what I mean here. That's one reason why another reason why I don't like IV infusion. It's hard to really have a lot of recurrent people, especially if you're marketing towards tourists who just want a hangover IV,
Right.
right?
Okay.
So that's why you should really be focusing more on recurrent income, like the
Okay.
weight loss, the hormone replacement therapy locally.
Okay.
Yeah, those people will be patients for life, for years,
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah,
you know?
because they're gonna keep coming back. I was gonna market my IV therapy as well as like more performance recovery. I mean, because it's an active town.
Right.
So using that too. But I mean, I get what you're saying though, that at least like with the hormones, they're gonna keep coming back.
They're gonna keep
So
coming back, right, and even if it's people if it's tourists coming to ski, what, are they gonna come get an IV from you once a year?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know? Yeah, there's no
very
money in
true.
that.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay.
Yeah, so, I think you'd be better served focusing on a lot of the people who live there full-time or part-time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys have a lot of snowbirds that are there and, things like that, that people that live there
Right.
part-time, really millionaires have a house there, they live a few months out of the year at, Um,
Right.
yeah, you could prescribe them hormone replacement therapy and, you prescribe them enough to get them through until they come back.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So I would just have to see them every 6 months. I mean, that's easy. They'll be here at least
they'll
every
be
6 months.
there, right, exactly,
Yeah.
I have a lot of federal employees that I see that are contractors in the military, and they're like, they're going around all over the place, but their house is based here.
Right.
But they
Okay.
might only be here a couple months out of the year, and we just schedule the follow-ups for when they're here, and then I give them 6 months worth. I'm like, "See you later, enjoy Virginia," or whatever, you know?
Okay, awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally legal.
Perfect.
Yeah, as long as you're not seeing them in the states that they're in and you're not licensed in, then you have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah. Weight loss, if it's a really active town, um, I don't know. Is there a lot of obese people that you think would benefit from weight loss?
Not really up there, but like I was saying, like down so I work I call it like the valley. I don't work in Tahoe as my family practice, but all of my family practice patients want weight loss. They're all about, do you have the
Okay.
semaglutide? Like, do you have Ozempic? Can you get it
So
approved? So
okay, so these are more the local people. I gotcha.
yeah.
I
And
gotcha. Right.
they would come up for that.
Okay. Well, perfect. And you could do all that telemedicine too,
That's true too.
Yeah. You
Okay.
just, they come up one in person, do a weigh in or whatever. Or just over the phone.
Okay. Even better.
Yeah. That's how I would do it.
Okay. Um, okay, that works. Yeah, I'll definitely finish up my hormone course soon.
Yeah, yeah. The hormones and the weight loss, I would really double down on that versus the IV stuff.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
helpful.
yeah. Keep that in mind. Vitamin injections too are a hell of a lot easier than doing an infusion.
Right. Okay.
You know,
I started taking your peptide course too. Would that be a good adjunct to all this as well?
yeah, growth hormone peptides and stuff. Sure, you could do that. It's just an
Okay.
adjunct. I wouldn't put a lot of things in that basket. Uh,
Okay.
the FDA right now is constantly changing stuff with all these peptides, and it's really hard to stay up to date with them. And peptides come and go. So, Sermorellin's a peptide that's been around forever, and the FDA doesn't really care about it. So you could offer that. It's a growth hormone peptide. It works pretty good in a lot of patients.
Okay. Okay. I might just add that in as I go. I'll focus on the others first and then kind of
Exactly.
add in stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't get squirrel syndrome here, like make sure just focus in on just a few things and just leave it at that for the time being.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm getting a little too ahead of myself trying to add all these different little things. So
Yeah.
I'll try to reel it in.
Yeah. It happens with a lot of entrepreneurs. It's kind of just part of it.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about websites. I do have a website, but it's not my favorite. And I tried to do it on my own. Terrible idea. I'm terrible at that. So I hired it out, and then it's not the best. So I'm going to definitely work on renovating my whole website, making it better, making it
Okay.
easier to navigate.
Yeah, I mean, that's money well spent. Seriously,
Okay.
like once the website's built, it's built,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it needs to look nice. I always tell people, be willing to spend 2 or $3,000 on a good website. It's worth the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my next step too.
Yeah.
Get that.
I mean, you could build one on, you could build one on your own, on Wix or GoDaddy or whatever. And that's a good template that a professional web designer can use to build the website out.
Okay, that's basically what I did. I started one and then I hired out to kind of finish it out, but it's still so I was trying to make it to where people could book online because I'm a appointment only, but like for Botox, I can't really tell how much it's going to cost, so they can't put half down or. So I was going to change it to more of a consultation fee, like a 25 $50 consultation fee, and you book through that, and if they come, it goes towards their Botox. If they don't show up, then that was for my time I waited.
Right. Right. It's a good idea.
Okay.
The booking option, that's usually just a link from your EMR.
Okay.
So yeah, so just use the website that you have now as the template. Like you get in there, you can write the content on there, you can write the paragraphs, you can kind of just do some basic organization and then just have a professional come in, clean it up, and make it look fantastic. That's what I've always done.
Okay, awesome. I'll
Yeah,
do that.
you can't just call a web developer and be like, I want a website about this. Okay, like you still have to give him the content.
Yeah.
A web developer doesn't know shit about weight loss and hormone replacement therapy. You don't expect them to write that content for you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a good idea for you just to get on there, write the content, put it on there, do some basic organization. Then they come in and with their professional eye, they would just make it look fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll work on that too.
Yep. Yeah. That's a good time investment for you as the business owner.
Okay. Perfect.
So
I
any other
think those
questions
are
about
all of
marketing?
those were all of my questions I had actually.
Okay.
I ran through those.
So do you have any questions then about, integrating these services? Because it sounds like you weren't really prepared for me to tell you to really focus more on the recurrent stuff like hormone replacement therapy and weight loss. I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
No, I really wasn't expecting that. I was opening up an IV hydration. And I mean, I've got all the equipment to do it, like the chairs and everything. So I'm still going to offer it. But
Sure.
yeah, I think you're right. Like having the hormone replacement and weight loss, since that's been such a big ask, I definitely think I need to focus on that.
Yes.
So I started your hormone class. So I'm gonna do that one and then testosterone. That was my plan anyway. Take your classes and start doing consults and start seeing people.
Yeah, that's what you got to
Do
do. Just yeah, it's easy. It's easy stuff. It's not hard to do.
right. Okay. What about, I mean, do you recommend I'm sure I'll hear this in your class, but do you recommend more of the like bioidenticals, or do you just, treat with estrogen, progesterone for
Yeah, you're
women?
gonna
Like,
yeah, you're gonna do the bioidenticals for the for your female patients. For your male
okay.
patients, you can do testosterone saponic, fine, because the testosterone cleaves off, which is bioidentical. You just want to be given synthetic stuff.
Okay.
You're using all these synthetic hormones that are in birth control and whatnot, like,
Right.
yeah. You're gonna use the bioidentical hormones from the compounding pharmacy.
Okay.
Your customers are gonna
Right.
tell you what it is that they want. Don't assume you know what they want and just shove it down their throat. It's not,
Right.
it doesn't work that way. Okay.
Okay.
So if these people are telling you they want hormone replacement therapy and weight loss and stuff, you'd be a fool not to give it to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, so always be listening to them about that. Even a year or 2 years from now, like that, a smart business owner always listens to their customer and then gives them what they want.
Okay.
Okay. Like if you keep your ears out, open, you
Mhm.
start seeing patterns here. You're like, wow, a lot of people are asking me about that. Maybe I should offer that,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you have people asking you already for that, if you open the doors and offer that from the get-go, you already have patients.
Okay.
Like you already
Okay,
have
good.
business.
Right.
That's
Okay.
important.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, the more people that I see in family practice, the more I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is a big
Yeah,
deal."
sounds like there's a big need for it,
Yeah.
you know? So give it to them. That's what they want.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that way you have a recurrent income source. You know what I mean? Like the IV infusion, if you're seeing a lot of tourists for this stuff, during the slow months, your incomes are going to bottom out. So it's going to be
Right.
a very up and down kind of thing. Some months you'll kill it, some months you won't. Right.
Oh, no, that's so true. Because I mean, our shoulder season, we're only busy really in the summer and winter, and we have a
Right.
big shoulder season. So,
So yeah, so there's going to be, 4 to 6 months there out of the year where you're not going to be that busy.
yeah.
So that could hurt you as a business owner, right? A lot.
Right.
You
Okay.
don't seasonality is something that you need to be careful about. I don't like seasonal businesses. I would never open a seasonal business. It's too
Yeah.
unpredictable. Okay. And so if you have that recurrent service and that recurrent income through hormone replacement therapy and weight loss, you should always have a somewhat predictable income month to month that slowly grows versus this up and down stuff.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I
Right.
mean, that's the
Yeah.
smart business move. So,
It's a smart business move. Yeah. And so, your income's going to go up and down still because, you the IV infusion and maybe vitamin injection, stuff like that's going to be seasonal, right? But you should
mhm.
always have that good, solid base, right? So let's say, just for easy math, let's say that $10,000 a month is what is that nice recurrent income. And let's say you bring on a few new patients every single month. So it goes up $1,000 every single month. 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13,000, 14,000. Like it's easy. Like you just see it in your numbers. You're like, wow, this is like a very stepwise, predictable thing. Okay. And then you add on top of that this IV infusion. So during the summer and the winter, you notice that it spikes up $5,000 or
Yes.
whatever, right? But you'll always still have that nice solid foundation that just slowly ticks up every single month.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
what
this
you want.
plan.
Yeah, that's what you want as a business owner right there. Okay, that's something that
Okay.
can grow, that's something that can scale, that's something that you can predict.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So keep that in mind. Don't be seasonal. It's going to drive you insane.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, any other questions?
I don't think so. We covered all of my questions I had.
Yeah, yeah. Well, good for you. You got a business started. I mean, all you got to do now is just pull the trigger and get some patients in the door and start seeing them, right? I mean, that's pretty much all you got to do
Yes.
now. You have all the
Yeah.
accounts set up. Like it's literally at this point, it sounds like you just need to get some signs and open up and just, be patient about it. Uh, it might take off really quick or it might be a little slow for a few months. So go into it with a realistic expectation. That's the best way to prevent burnout and, disappointment. So,
Okay.
yeah, just go into it with a realistic expectation. Be like Justin said, don't be surprised if you only see 10 patients the first month.
Okay.
That
Makes me
might,
feel a little better.
that, yeah, that might happen. And if it does, don't
Right.
be surprised if it does. And don't be
Okay.
super disappointed. That's
Okay.
kind of normal for a lot of people who start these practices. It's kind of slow the first few months.
Okay.
Okay. Don't expect $100,000, in the second month. There's some people that there's some people strike gold and they, and their business blows up.
Right.
That's luck. That's being at the right place at the
Okay.
right time. That is not the norm. Okay. The norm is
Okay.
slow and steady. The first few months can be a little bit slow and then it slowly just builds up from there. Okay. So that's what I want you to go into expecting.
No, thank you for that. That makes me feel better.
You're welcome for sure. Okay. Well, anyways, I like to end the episode with you asking me a question. So, do you have any questions for me? Just a personal question or a curiosity, something you maybe just always wanted to ask me.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, do you plan on retiring soon or how long are you gonna keep working, or I just need to know goals that you have so I kind of can judge.
Sure, sure. Okay, so you're 33, I'm 39. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm 6 years older than you. I got started when I was 30, 34, 33, 34. So I got started about the same age as you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So just FYI, like I started almost the exact same age as you.
Yeah, that's
Because
pretty cool.
I started 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, so 33 is a good age to start, okay? Because you still have that energy of your 30s, the ambition, life hasn't really slapped you in the face quite hard enough yet, so you're still kind of like peppy about it, yeehaw, gun ho, uh, yeah, yeah, you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's a good age to get started. And so yeah, so anyways, I'm 6 years older than you. I'm 39, so I plan on being completely financially. I'm somewhat financially independent at this point, but I mean, I still need to work and have my businesses. So
Right.
I plan on being like totally done, fu money kind of thing, probably by the time I'm 44, 45.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Goals over here. Just thinking of
Goals.
goals.
Right, right, right. If you put it in your head, I want to retire at 45, you will retire at 45. Okay.
Okay.
The problem with most people is they never think about it.
Hmm.
They don't think about it. They don't even consider it really. They're just like, I just go to work, I pay my bills, whatever. I put money in my 401k and call it a day. Right.
Right.
That's how you retire when you're 65, 70 years old and you can't do shit because
Hmm.
your knees are shot out and your back hurts all the time. And,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want to retire like that. Who wants to retire
No.
like that? Yeah.
No. I say 50 is probably my cutoff, and I'm ready
50,
to.
50's the max. I hear you, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, but if you make it your goal and you say 45, I'm going to retire, chances are a lot higher that you'll probably retire at 45 because that's your
Okay.
goal and you're going to do what's necessary to get there. And
Okay.
what you need to do to get there, okay, it's not rocket science. This is not hard. Okay, anybody could do this. Is you
Hmm.
save and invest a lot more than you spend. I would say my savings rate is 80, 90%.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I
That's
save and invest
awesome.
80, 90% of what I make.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Because I live fairly frugally. I live good. Don't get me wrong. But overall, fairly frugal.
Okay.
I don't have $2 million home. Like I live pretty frugally. I live below my means. So you need to live below your means, save as much money as you can and invest the money so it works for you and grows. Okay.
Okay.
And you starting a business is the fastest way to do that because you're going to make a lot more money with a business than you ever will working for someone else.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
sure you see that, right? Like you're getting these
Oh,
paychecks.
yeah.
You've been at NP for 4 years. You're like, geez, like this is going to be this is going to be slow. It's going to take a long time.
Yeah. Yep. Most of
Yeah.
our friends are entrepreneurs. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to have the freedom and money that they have. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's been
it's the
helpful.
yeah, it's the only way to do it as a business owner. It's the only way.
Yeah.
So I go home back east every summer. I take a month off. I go,
Yes.
I go back for a month at
That's
being
amazing.
employed.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't do
That's
that being
amazing.
employed. Yeah, you just can't. Like I take a
Mm-mm.
month off. I pack up and I go. I spend a month. I mean, I still work a little bit.
Right.
You gotta look at your books and you have to sign off on orders and you still gotta see some patients via telemed or whatever, but you don't work that much.
Right. Yeah. A few hours a day. Get to spend
Few
the rest with
hours.
your family. And yeah.
Exactly. You can be on the lake on a Wednesday at 12 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
drinking
I
beer
love that.
free on Wednesday, everyone else at work. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the bomb. It's awesome. So
That is awesome.
it
Okay.
is. Yeah. So you could do it. Yeah, that was a good question. So
Awesome.
cool. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time.
Oh,
If you
thank
have
you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. If you ever want to do a follow-up, let me know. I think you're gonna do well.
Great. I appreciate that. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, no problem. Take care.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye. All right, I hope everyone enjoyed the episode with Maggie. She just got started. She's still figuring out kind of what services to provide. So a couple things here. You really want to focus on recurrent income. she was focused more on this one-time IV infusion service kind of stuff. It's really hard to have recurrent IV infusion patients, especially in like a tourist town where there's seasonality. So it'd be really hard to grow a business like that. So be focused more on things that provide recurrent income, okay? And always be listening to your customer. Her customers were telling her they want weight loss and hormone replacement therapy, but she wasn't really considering doing it. Like, that's foolish. Don't do that. Give your patients what they want, okay? You need to be focused on that. If you do that, you'll have a business that'll grow very fast and your patients will be very happy because you're giving them what they want, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye. Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2023 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.